Hello, YouTube! Welcome in, welcome in. We are watching some Jaden animations, and today we're going to learn how Jaden became a vegetarian. Interesting topic. Well, I'm the type of person that's like, if you want to be a vegetarian, if you want to be vegan, it's whatever. Do what you want, do what makes you happy. Just as long as you're not like preaching to other people and trying to force them to do it. I don't think I could be a vegetarian, or especially not a vegan. I like milk, I like cheese, so I can't be a vegan. And I don't know, I like meat. But at the same time, I could easily see a vegetarian diet working. But let's see where this goes. Oh, and volume's up. All right.
As someone who's been telling stories and experiences from my life for way too long, I feel like you've gotten the general gist of the type of person I am. There's very few.
Extremely ADHD, goofy, outgoing while also being introverted, has a very rich life, and the animation style and quality is really on point, and the storytelling is just on point. So that's kind of what I get from you. And also just a really simple person.
Things I haven't talked about that express new information about myself, but there's a chance you didn't know about this one. It's not that I'm embarrassed or ashamed or even keeping it secret. I've just felt like it can rub some people the wrong way, and I simply have.
Well, I mean, in the videos where you went to like Japan and all that, there were a lot of times where you were like, I couldn't eat these types of foods, and it was either left up to interpretation of you're a vegetarian, or you just didn't like the type of food it was. But I'm pretty sure most people knew that you were a vegetarian for quite a while.
I haven't really felt like opening that can of worms yet, but it is
Fair.
something I'm relatively passionate about, and hope I can navigate the topic in a casual way that's more talking about my thoughts on it, non-preachy style.
Honestly, very valid to get the pillow armor out.
I'm vegetarian. Based on that buildup, I'm sure some of you thought that was going to be much more abhorrent. But look, I'm just trying to establish the tone here.
Jaden, we can see the title of the video. It's fine.
You can never be too careful. It's been almost 10 years since I've eaten meat, and I think the craziest part is that it wasn't really even on purpose. Back when I went to college for a single year, I was living on my own for the first time. To make a long and complicated story short, I didn't know how to feed myself, developed a really unhealthy relationship with food, and it ultimately became this whole thing. It happens to the best of us.
It really does. Like, a lot of kids specifically, when you start getting out of like school and you're starting to go to college or higher learning and all that, and you're moving out of the house, right? They're like, oh, shit, I got money now. I'm a grown up. I can do whatever I want. I can eat what I want, when I want, how I want, when, or whatever. It's all good. I'm going to have cake for dinner. I'm going to have ramen for breakfast. I'm going to have Skittles all day. Just like all these goofy thoughts and things. And then you get into it and you're like, wait a second. The main reason I'm not allowed to actually do all this is not because it's bad for me, but because it's expensive as hell. And I'm feeling like shit now because I'm not eating properly. But how do I feed myself then? What do I do? Hello from eating just hot dogs for 4 days straight. Yep. Struggle meals, baby.
But the best of us also know that it's not good for your well-being, and despite how scary and difficult it is, you need to make a change. After a lot of trying and failing to get back into a healthy mindset with eating, I decided to sit down at a computer and study nutrition to feel more confident in my choices with food, and use knowledge to make it all a bit less intimidating. I spent
Just the Tony Stark thing. But yeah, that's one of the best ways to get through a lot of things. Just like, you don't understand it, you don't know how to like get through a terrible situation in your life. You can ask your friends and family for like suggestions all day long, but they're going to give you things that are catered to them, right? They're going to give you only information that's catered to them, and it's going to just kind of fall on deaf ears with you because you're not them. That's not how that will work. So your best bet is to go and try to find that information for yourself in a way that will be catered towards you, something that you can tangibly understand. Because how many times have you had like your best friend, somebody you admire, or like a family member, a close family member, tell you something and you're like, no, that's not correct. And then some random video on the internet says the exact same thing they just said, and you're like, oh, you're right. Hands up, everybody put your hand up. I know damn well everybody has done it. Independence, ice cream for all meals instead of going to buy new food. 2 hours later, why does my stomach hate me today? Yep. Hi, Reverie. Hi, Rose. Enjoy your lurks.
Long time doing my own research, looking into all types of articles and studies on food when I stumbled onto veganism. Despite it being a bit more limited with what a lot of people are used to eating, for me, it sure was a hell of a lot better than what I was feeding myself at the time, which was almost nothing at all. So,
you know what? Valid. Introducing new things. That's a good way to get out of a bad relationship with food.
So we take those little steps. I was interested and decided in that moment that I would attempt going vegan to simply see what happens.
Yeah, I was not expecting Baby Jane to just eat the banana peel and throw out the banana. That was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I ended up changing the entire trajectory of my lifestyle with a single, hell, why not? I would say I did it kind of wrong at the beginning. Like, I would buy a prepackaged salad from the campus food court.
I was a vegetarian for 3 years. It was bad. I got frequent nosebleeds for no reason, 3 to 6 times a week. Well, you can be a vegetarian and still be eating really bad. Just because you're eating vegetables only and fruits and all that does not necessarily make it healthy. If you're not eating things that your body requires, so like getting fiber, getting your proteins, getting all your vitamins and minerals and all that in, it's not going to work too well. You can get all that through vegetarianism, but it's a lot harder to get certain ones. Exactly. And if you were getting lots of nosebleeds, chances are good you were having like, maybe not, maybe you were getting like low iron, or like you were eating too many things that were thinning out your blood. Hard to say. No, but my friend's stream style says, oh, well, fair enough. Hi, Chaos. Thank you for the bet.
That had meat in it and pick it off, which I know just did heavy damage to vegans, vegetarians, and non-food wasters out there. And I'm sorry I didn't.
Wait, what was that? And yes, some there is some things that are higher in iron that are vegetables related. My bad. Either way, at least I know spinach is. Okay, so what did you just say you did?
Your trajectory of my lifestyle with a single, hell, why not? I would say I did it kind of wrong at the beginning. Like, I would buy a prepackaged salad from the campus food court that had meat in it and pick it off, which I know just did heavy damage to vegans, vegetarians, and non-food wasters out there. And I'm sorry, I didn't know at the time. It's common for people transitioning from eating meat to not eating it to struggle because it feels like you're removing a huge part of how you normally structure your meals. But since I was eating next to nothing every single day, I really never had that problem. I was adding food into my repertoire instead of taking it away. So basically, the complete opposite situation, which worked out really well. Over time, I started trusting what I was eating again, being a lot more healthy with my relationship with food, and along the way learned about the other positive reasons to go meatless. I don't really want to be the one to get into the nitty-gritty of it all, but if you're curious, there's a lot of environmental benefit, and as everyone knows, it's kinder to the cute little animals.
Debatable. Unfortunately, you can't use environmental impact as a excuse to go vegan anymore or vegetarian, because a lot of times, like a lot of times, all those fun foods, all those fun vegetarian and vegan options that are in the stores, they do a lot of environmental impact. They have to make massive farms, which requires, massive clear cutting. They do a whole bunch of crazy shit. I'll have to do like a full-on deep dive into that, but you can't really say it's kinder to the animals and to nature anymore because, well, progress, baby. We're not very nice to that.
They do some messed up things to those poor baby chicks. But again, if you're curious, you can go down that rabbit hole yourself. Sorry, I'm not touching that one here. Even though I was doing well and not having a hard time eating within the lifestyle, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. There were still bad habits in my head.
What did it say? Isolated soy adjacent product, questionably edible flavor component, plant-esque extract, hydrogen monoxide, artificial yes, non-artificial ingredients, but are you sure you want that in your digestion? Talcum powder, legally distinct vitamin B12, and salt, the worst of them all. Talcum powder, not good just for that. But it's 100% natural, guys. Look at that. It's 100% natural. No, this is also a big thing that a lot of people seem to have an issue with. Like, all this stuff is edible. Like, this isn't like, no, not this stuff here, obviously, but all these really large, crazy words that you see in your packages, that stuff is edible. The reason why they have to go into using those large ass crazy words is because they have to put in all the ingredients, and sometimes they have to break down all the ingredients for the dumbest thing. Like in salmon, for instance, they have to say the salmon has red dye in it, but that red dye comes from the fucking food that they have to feed the salmon to keep them healthy and grow big. So it's like, but because of how things work and all that, is they need to make sure that they're labeling literally fucking everything, and it's scaring people, but they have to do it for legally actually, I think that's incorrect. What I've been hearing recently, I could do a bit more of a deep dive. But so the United States requires that food have not just the ingredients, but what's in those ingredients. A mac and cheese has to go beyond just pasta and cheese. Food makers are required to put what is in the pasta and what is in the cheese. Yeah. Packaged meat does tend to have extra dye added specifically to brighten the colors. It's more appealing. In some cases, yes. In some cases.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that use the community to spread their own unhealthy, obsessive brainworms.
Ew, you'd eat that? My answer to that is yes. I don't care what the topic is. The preservatives found in microwavable vegan meals is actually much worse than non-vegan source. That's... Yeah. Me? I don't eat that garbage. I eat dirt straight from the ground. I love the little gremlin she animated. I want it as a pet. True.
The obsessive brainworms around food, which in my opinion can set a lot of people back in their progress and close people's minds to the concept entirely. Everyone knows eating clean and healthy is a good thing to do. No one's arguing that. But it's definitely not achievable for the majority of people 100% of the time, with zero exceptions. I would encounter people in the community bashing others for the way they eat their meatless diet, which I believe is overall bad for the greater good of the cause.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. Like, you try to do the whole vegetarianism thing. You get into the community with it and be like, hey, rate my, take a look at my food. Or you talk to people in real life who are trying to do the vegetarianism thing, and they're just shoving more and more and more rules. And that's the same with everything. Talk about religion, talk about politics, talk about food, talk about literally fucking everything, and everyone has to be forcing their own opinions down your throat or else you're wrong. It's so annoying. And it's just pushing us back and away as an actual, like, society whenever we do this kind of shit. And if anything, it makes people buck back against free, eats Reese's, poor opinion person. You eat that? Ew. Free. It's vegan. Moves on. You know what? In a way, true. But yeah, nah. Let people do their thing. If people have a question, answer their question to the best of your ability, but let them decide whether they want to, you know, fully commit to it or not. Oh, actually, no, Reese's wouldn't be vegan because it's got milk product in it, technically. Mm-hmm.
The way you eat your vegan or
Could be
vegetarian
vegetarian, though.
diet is fine. There's no specific requirement for the healthiness.
Yeah.
Eat your junk foods, processed meals. You're not gonna wither and die on the spot because you ate a little bit of something fun. As someone who's tried a lot of vegan foods, I can confidently say there's a lot out there that do not taste good. I'm sorry, people might not like hearing that one, but it's my truth. Might as well do what you want to enjoy it. You're not supposed to suffer. Put it this way, it's way more realistic to eat non-animal product foods that you actually like than force yourself to eat the gross, bland ones that are gonna make you hate everything and give it up entirely.
One raw celery challenge. Hashtag said prayer.
In a similar vein, the vegan community used to be extremely confrontational and judgmental, which has tarnished the perception of the lifestyle for a lot of people. And I've always felt like that stuff.
Well, he's not going to be in the next Jaden animation video. The world, if veganism founders were nice, if the veganism fandom was nicer. Possibly in a lot of senses. Celery has a peppery taste for you? That's interesting. It's just tastes like crunchy water to me with a weird little aftertaste. Not a fan of celery.
Has set back the movement way more than if they were more welcoming and understandable and not mean. There's a bit of irony in the idea veganism is supposed to be positive and kind to all animals when they've been very cannibalistic to people around them. That's my hot take. I'm sorry. I just think in the
That's my hot take. I'm sorry. Apologizing well before the comment section even gets started.
past, the loud minority of the community has used really rude and obnoxious ways to try and guilt people into
I think that was a Easter egg of the vegan teacher. If for those of you who know who she is, I'm sure you'd wait. Let's just back up for a moment there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the vegan teacher.
try and guilt people into converting into this very beneficial and productive lifestyle. It's always rubbed me the wrong way, and because of all the stigma, I used to be very embarrassed to tell people I was vegan from fear of the assumption I was that kind of vegan, and justifiably so, because people have been rude to me for it. Early in my vegan journey, a group of my friends wanted to...
Well, yeah, most people, like, I've you know, been around people who were vegetarian or vegan or something like that, and I've obviously I would ask, why would you want to go vegan? Why would you want to go vegetarian? A lot of the time, that they would say, oh, because, well, it's just what I want to do. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm one of those people that live and let live. The people that confuse me the most are the ones who are like I actually ran into a person one time during a lunch break at work, right? And she was eating some food, and I had like a package of those Nilla wafers. Once again, I just got myself adult money, so I was being a little stupid with my own nutritions. But either way, and I offered them one. I was like, "Hey, you want a Nilla wafer?" And they were like, "Oh, I don't know if I can eat that actually, so I'll pass if that's okay." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Wait, why wouldn't you be able to eat that out of curiosity?" "Oh, I'm vegan or something like that." I'm like, oh. You know, I've always wanted to ask, because this is like one of the first people I've ever met who was actually vegan, and I've had a chance to really just sit there and ask, why would you choose to be vegan out of curiosity? And they're like, oh, well, you see, and it's these types of people that confuse the crap out of me, because they are legitimately not paying attention to biology and how things work. They said humans are not actually designed to eat meat, because we have molars or something like we have a specific type of, like, our teeth are not designed in order to eat meat. And I'm just sitting there like, huh? We literally have canines. We have tearing teeth. So it's like, there's a lot of people who try to justify their choices by saying humans are not supposed to do this. When, yes, humans are capable of doing that. We are an omnivorous species. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But we're not omnivorous. We're omnivorous at best. True. I did it because health and not liking the treatment of animals that were bred to be food. That's a perfect reason. That makes sense. I'm not going to deny that, but like actually saying, like as a species, we are not like that. It's like we have eyes on the front of our head, which is a predator trait. We have the sharp tearing teeth. We have piercing teeth. Yes, we have molars. Those are designed for crushing and grinding fruits and vegetables. But everything else is designed for tearing and piercing. Oh,
take a break.
No, I don't want to.
Go to Hooters. Personally, not my first choice.
To my understanding, humans literally have the most adaptive digestive system. We could eat the most variety of things of any animal on the planet. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're even digesting plastic in a lot of cases.
But hey, now I was able to accommodate myself when it was just me eating, but going out to restaurants was a bit tricky. I checked the Hooters website to see if they had anything I could eat, and at the time it said they had a veggie burger at certain locations. Awesome. Now I have to make a single phone call, which I hate. Hi, thank you for calling Hooters. How can I help you? Hi, I was wondering if you guys had the veggie burger. No. Oh, thank you. Sorry. That was the first time I ever called to ask about a dietary restriction, and not gonna lie, I wanted to kill myself after it. I felt so bad asking at the time.
Chances are good it sounded way worse to Jaden at that moment, because once again, anxiety, depression, self-doubt, concerns, fear of being judged or mocked or anything like that. Those types of things. But chances are good the phone call actually was Jaden, being apprehensive and being like, I was just wondering, do you have the veggie burger? And the lady on the other end was probably like, oh, no, we don't. And Jaden was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And the other person was like, I have too much stuff I have to do, so they hung up. So, and then Jaden just felt like, oh God, they judged me so hard. They're going to think I'm stupid and weird and terrible and blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, the person on the other end of the phone has already forgotten that she existed. And might make a joke about it, but they don't even know who called. And if they knew who called, they'd feel really stupid, because Jaden is one of the biggest, is a massive fucking YouTuber and streamer. So, like, what are you doing? Putting assumption on Jaden's processing of event. No, I'm not. What I'm doing... Oh, I'm mostly joking. Fair enough. No, what I'm doing is a lot of people... The reason why a lot of people have a problem with making phone calls or contacting other people is a fear of being heavily judged. I'm not belittling what Jaden went through. I'm just saying, in reality, it's probably nowhere near as bad as what Jaden felt like it was, because, once again, that's what fear and anxiety does to a person.
But looking back, I don't know what that lady's problem was. I know you've had to deal with worse phone calls. It's not like I was calling about your Hooters. Yet here you are getting mad at the veggie burger girl. Luckily though, 99% of people have been fine with it. And I do think the overall view on vegan and vegetarian diets have steadily been going up. When people learn I don't eat meat, I can tell they start mentally scoping out to see where I fall on the meatless personality spectrum. But
which is a very common thing for people to do, yes. Because once again, people have stigmatisms, people have thoughts, and if you're falling in those categories, they're going to start assuming you're going to be like the rest of the category. Stupid vegan teacher, right?
But then I say my favorite food is French fries, and the guard is dropped immediately. Another normal part of the vegan experience is the occasional accidents that slip through. One late night, I was too locked in, and by the time my body registered I was starving and needed to eat that instant, I realized I didn't have any food in my house, and most of the restaurants nearby were closed. In a moment of desperation, I ordered the fastest option available, vegan burger from Denny's. But of course, DoorDash complications always strike when survival is at stake, so I watched helplessly as the delivery time got delayed by 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. It got there an hour and a half late. The moment the bag touched my withering hands, I was ripping it open and scarfing that burger down like a dying vegan hyena. As the food was hitting my stomach and vision was coming back,
realized.
I noticed they got my order wrong. I had just scarfed down 3/4 of a normal hamburger. The only way I can describe that feeling is a simple welp. And yes, my stomach was cramping all night. I learned a valuable lesson that day. Never lock in that hard. Once Jacob and I were in Texas.
Well, lock in that hard if you want, but just, you know, make sure you have stuff in the fridge. Or, you know, if you don't want any of the things that are in the fridge and you're really hungry, skill issue, deal with it. Just eat the stuff in the fridge.
Sitting down at a Mexican restaurant, I was prepared to struggle with options because, you know, Texas, but saw they actually had veggie tacos on the menu. Wow.
That's the thing. Most most Mexican or Tex-Mex stuff is actually kind of vegetarian friendly because beans. Beans are vegan.
Maybe the world has progressed with providing meatless options more than I thought. Even Texas is... Alright, so turns out veggie tacos in Texas can translate to the only thing on the menu that has vegetables. I partially blame myself for that
fair.
one. Texas was the one that tricked me, but I did have the context clues. Another time, I was at a karaoke party with a big group of friends, and there was a various assortment of food platters. The lights were low and flashing different colors, so it was hard to see which foods were what. A friend and I hovered over one of the platters, and I pointed to one section asking if it was fried pickles. They grabbed one, went, "Yeah, I think so," and popped it in their mouth. As a pickle lover, I was like, hell yeah, and also popped one into my mouth. And as soon as it hit my taste buds, I instantly registered it was a chicken nugget. The friend, knowing I don't eat meat, stood there like a deer in headlights, digesting the fact they failed to warn me their initial assumption was incorrect, led me astray, and kind of indirectly fed me chicken.
They could have been like, yeah, I think this is a pickle. Pop it in their mouth. They should have instantly realized, oh, that ain't no pickle. That's chicken nugget. Whoopsie daisies. Brain farts.
Everyone in my life has been very understanding and chill with knowing I don't eat meat, but there's still strangers that look from the outside and assume the worst because of it.
Throw a banana peel in their face. That's all.
In James's 7-day vegan challenge solves all your problems video, he nominated me to do the challenge too, but at the very end revealed the joke was, I'm already vegan. So to anyone who didn't catch that, welcome in on the joke almost a decade later. Anyway, that was the first time the internet learned I was vegan. So obviously there were gonna be some obnoxious reactions to it, even though I was the same person I was before they knew that fact. I still remember this one comment from what I assume was a child that said, I just learned Jaden is vegan and I've lost all respect for her. Literally,
Chances are good. That was actually like a 40-year-old man.
how does that fact even affect you, child? I wasn't even the one who said it. I cannot believe he got under my skin with that one. Not because it's mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Just so confidently stupid. This was like 9 years ago, so I assume he's an adult with more sensible worldviews now, but
Debatable. Maybe the friend is dumb or had bad taste buds. Probably. How bad was the nugget that the guy thought it was a pickle while even eating it? True.
I
The
still hope
6-7
he's
shirt.
doing bad. Grudges aside, I kept being vegan for many, many years. The lifestyle was really easy when I was eating on my own. The hardest part was honestly how it affected my social life. Whenever I wanted to go to a restaurant, I'd have to check the website ahead of time to see if I could eat anything. My
Oh,
friends were
no.
always having to accommodate me. No one ever said they minded, but it still didn't feel great on my end, even being a little bit of a burden. You don't really realize how big food is in culture and socializing until your diet doesn't line up with the world around you. On the flip side, I never thought meeting someone that has the same food lifestyle as you could be such a huge bonding experience. Whenever I meet a fellow non-meat eater, I instantly feel more connected to them, just based on that. Such a warm feeling. Just two veggie eaters in this big meaty world. Anyway, yeah, after
Well, yeah. Once again, that is a very common thing with people who have, unique lifestyles. If you find somebody, that's the Metopia music. Probably it's very popular right now. But when you have like a specific lifestyle that's not in line with the vast majority of people around you, and you find that one other person in the world or one other person in your area who shares that same worldview with you, obviously you're going to gravitate together. You're going to try and, pal up, be friends, talk about your experience on this. And it's going to just be cathartic because up until this point, nobody understood. And then suddenly you found somebody who understands.
for so many years, I'd be lying if I didn't say being vegan started
She shares the same diet as Ari and Tofu. True.
weighing a bit too heavy for me. I started feeling the friction and restraints more than I preferred. So after a lot of difficult mental back and forths, I begrudgingly decided to get a little bit flexible. I say begrudgingly because it felt like I was turning my back on the morals I was living by for 8 whole years. But I figured if I was slowly struggling more and more under the vegan lifestyle, it would ultimately be better to just modify it than grow to hate it and give up on the whole thing entirely. I decided to let some dairy and eggs back into my diet for the versatility of being able to have more options in restaurants, and the few times I might want the flexibility at home.
Good day, Tama. Well, that's... yeah, I can understand that. And when you're not really, like, pushing back against the world, against your morals, well, you kind... how do I explain this? When you live your life focusing on extremely stringent morals, and eventually those morals are going to have to kind of give way to, a more relaxed standard. You're going to have to, you're going to see yourself as a hypocrite, or the people that you shot down before can easily come back at you and call you a hypocrite. It's happened hundreds of thousands of times to tons of creators nowadays, and it's not a fun situation. But that's also why you should be a little less strict with yourself, be a little bit more comfortable with life and what you're able to do, but live the way that you feel best. And if you need to make a few changes, own those changes. Be like, I've really tried. I really tried. Just don't be preachy. If you're not preachy, people can't attack you.
Took some adjusting because, believe it or not, your body will not be used to the taste and texture of food you haven't eaten in a very extended amount of time. But it got easier, and I instantly was so much happier with the heightened ceiling. Also, I very much expected to have turned lactose intolerant after not consuming dairy for so long. Super lucky to have gotten away with that one, no problem. Really counting my blessings there. A lot.
I think people actually get lactose intolerant more so when you ingest a lot more of the stuff. So, because you're, like, introducing a bunch of lactose into your system, and your body's starting to, like, get kind of worn down on it, it's kind of acidy, right? That's my assumption. I'm also not a nutritionist, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But from what I've heard, people who eat a lot of dairy stuff tend to get more allergic to it as time goes on.
of people tell me that they wish they could be vegetarian or vegan, but they can't because they just like chicken too much, or burgers, or whatever specific single food they don't want to give up. And to that, I always say, you can just keep eating those things while avoiding the easier stuff. You really don't need to box yourself into the lifestyle all for the pure label. Any little changes make a bigger difference than you give it credit for. And if you can cut out even a single animal product in your life, that's huge. Or even just have it as a treat every once in a while. Again, I feel like the all or nothing mentality with going meatless is the main thing that makes people too intimidated to try, because being able to make little tweaks to your diet is so much more sustainable for long-time commitment than assuming you're suddenly gonna morph into a completely different person overnight.
Oh God.
It's not like you have
Just turn into Motara Khan. Me, who eats cheese on the daily. When I say something, once again, do your own research on, because I am saying a lot of things off the top of my head based on things I've heard in the past. I'm not an authority. Make sure you Google it. Source check me. If anyone wants to fact check me when I say stuff, please by all means do so. I'm always eager to learn too. And I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, my word is law. Why aren't you listening to my shit?
have to decide what you're not gonna eat from a single point and never change it until you die. You can add things back in, or even go the other way and try cutting more things out if you feel good about the first adjustment. Some people even just go meatless for 1 day a week, or month, or year. I think if I were to humbly request you take anything from this video, it would be to try and be a bit more conscious about food.
You just ate that guy's left ear. I hope you feel bad about yourself.
Want you to try and stop eating meat anymore if you don't want to. Maybe just try and be a bit more cognizant and appreciative of what it is and where it came from. I'll give you an example. Say you buy some chicken nuggets, change your mind, and decide you want to throw it away. It's kind of like you just paid to kill a chicken for no reason. It would go,
oh, fuck, man. Those are my tendies. Those are my nuggies.
go a long way to save it for later or give them to a friend.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that in like an accusatory way, but that mentality has changed the way I look at food and my impact. Coming from me, it's okay to buy and eat meat. I just want people to value it more. I felt a lot of moral guilt when I started buying eggs again, but I've gone out of my way to make sure I always buy pasture-raised eggs that came from a farm that makes sure the chickens get to live normal and happy chicken lives. Cage-free or free-range don't really mean anything.
Nope.
It's the food industry lying about not being mean to chickens. So if you have a little bit more resources to transition to other kinder options like that, it's always very beneficial.
Buy locally. Chances are good there is going to be a friend or friend of a friend or a little farm. Go to a farmer's market, that sort of thing. If you're really worried about that sort of thing, yeah, buy locally. Find a farmer or somebody who has a little hobby chicken farm. Get your eggs from them. They're everywhere. They're literally fucking everywhere. All right, I'm sure you'll be able to find something. That would be my recommendation.
Unfortunately, tend to be more expensive though, so I know it's not a viable choice for everyone, which is understandable. I hope that doesn't come off as preachy. Oh god, who put this soapbox under my feet? I'm trying to find a middle ground of...
Wait, I just like during this entire video we are watching about vegetarian, and in the corner we have bacon side to remind the viewer free is not vegetarian. I completely forgot I put that there. Whoopsies.
Talking about this stuff in an open and non-pushy way while also making sure I can get my thoughts out there. There's just a lot of shady, evil practices in the food and meat industry, so I want to do my best to inform people who do care, because at the end of the day, you do vote with your money. I'm happy and comfortable being vegetarian, but writing this video made me realize maybe I'm finding it a bit hard to be outwardly proud of it. I'm proud of the choices I'm making and the small yet important impacts that come from the lifestyle. But on the other hand, I've seen and experienced enough harsh opinions from both meat and non-meat eaters to understand the whole idea of consuming less animal products still has a ways to go. I stand by the idea that I do think the stigma has been becoming more positive and people have chilled out on both sides over the past few years, but I hope
it's always in every discourse. It's always the loud minority. And unfortunately, the loud minority tend to be people who have power. So there's always going to be people who are going to scream at the top of the lungs how evil you are for X, Y, and Z. When in reality, you yourself won't feel evil because of X, Y, and Z. So why are you suddenly becoming evil? Does that mean that that person might actually be the evil one? That's the question, right?
the mentality of it all can continue to be pushed in a more healthy and overall productive direction, because at the end of the day, it really does benefit us, the planet, and animals very much. It might not seem like it when you reach for the dairy-less milk or the impossible meat in the grocery store, or even choose the vegetarian option in a restaurant every once in a while, but it really does. Thank you for watching. I haven't been able to announce it in a video yet, but we released a new Pet Frenzy merch bundle. We've got a tostada beanie, tofu plush jacket similar to the Ari one, cute long sleeve shirt of all the creatures, I know it's summer, I'm sorry, a fun sticker set, and new bandanas to put on the Ari, tofu, and tostada plushes, or I guess whatever plush you would want it on. I hope you give it a look. I think it all came out super cute, and yeah, thank you again for watching. And this is bye-bye for now.
Whoop. Wow. There it is. So, I think I respect Jaden for finally coming out and talking about it, and being very, like, non-pushy about the whole subject. I do respect that. Very good idea. Yeah. Alright. Let me hide all that. We don't need all that information. There we go. Maybe clip free joining in the shoulder dance and I don't like almond milk because I don't like almonds, period. Huh. Well, there's other forms of like vegetarian friendly milk. Not almond. Soy milk isn't half bad. Also almond milk doesn't taste like almonds usually. And you can get other flavored ones, which kind of taste like either vanilla or chocolate or something like that. Yeah, oat milk is okay. There's lots of options. What? Hey, did you enjoy that? Was it funny? Well, come and check it out live over on twitch.tv/freeform_art. Make sure you put the _art. We have lots of fun there. We enjoy ourselves, and we want to see you over there. So come on and hang out. See you in a bit.